Hi, this is Curtis Alexander. In today's video, I want to answer a question I got recently comparing a couple of migraine medications, and it's Ubrelvy and Imitrex. Now, a couple of videos ago, I covered Ubrelvy in a pretty good depth. It was a Ubrelvy 101 video, so gave you kind of the 35,000 foot view. And it is kind of an exciting new medication. Imitrex or what's known as the triptans. Imitrex is one of the triptans. This class of drugs has been around, I believe, since the 90s. Good class of drugs, had a lot of good results with it, but just a little bit of an older drug. They're both designed to treat acute migraines. So if you're suffering from a migraine right now, these are designed to be taken to knock it down. So the question comes up, which one is better for me? And it really does depend, like anything. So first of all, there are different mechanisms of action, different ways on how they attack migraines. The triptans, the older classes of drugs, are really a vasoconstrictor. So they'll constrict the blood vessels in the brain and the outside of the brain. And what that essentially does is helps knock down the migraine. Now, Ubrelvy is in a much newer class of drugs called the CGRPs. Just a fancy way of saying that it blocks a protein that's involved in inflammation in the brain. So rather than working on constricting blood vessels, it's working on attacking the inflammation in the brain and what happens during a migraine. The other Ubrelvy is the only CGRP that you can take by mouth, and it's the only one that is designed to tackle a migraine right now. The other ones are designed to prevent migraines as far as what's in the CGRPs, and the other ones are also injectables. But getting back to kind of the battle between these two meds, so they do act differently, and that's important because it gives each drug certain advantages. Now, Ubrelvy would be probably a better choice, not probably, it would be a better choice in somebody who has migraines who also has concerns cardiovascular wise, particularly people who have a history of strokes. Not a place you want to use triptans, again, because you're constricting the blood vessels, can lead to more problems there. So that would be a good place to opt for Ubrelvy. The triptans, or Imitrex in this case, number one, they've been around longer. They're all available generic, so they tend to be cheaper. They tend to be covered more easily on insurances. And it's generally a good place to start. Not everybody gets benefit from a triptan, but most doctors are probably going to start you there because they're cheaper and you can see if it works. They're very similar dosing. Normally, if you have a migraine attack, you feel it coming on, you take a tablet, and if you don't get relief, you can repeat that dose in 2 hours. Now, you don't want to go beyond that. That's where both of them max. The nice thing is, you actually can take them together. I don't know that I'd see this a lot, but it can be done. Now, I put some asterisks there because you can't take them together willy-nilly. What that means is that if you take Imitrex at the start of the migraine and you need something again in 2 hours, you could either take another Imitrex or you could move to taking a Ubrelvy at 2 hours. But now at this point, you can't repeat them again. That's what it means that they can be taken together. But again, I don't know how often that would happen. I just want to point out that it is a possibility. Generally speaking, I hate to use that phrase because when you say that, people think it's a law. It's generally speaking, and I mean that. Triptans tend to have more side effects because of the vasoconstriction. Again, if you're interested more in Ubrelvy, go back and watch my video on Ubrelvy, and I cover the side effects of that more in depth. But triptans do tend to have more side effects. Again, they're a very effective class of medications for most people, just something to keep in mind. So that gives you a pretty good breakdown of the differences between the two medications and what might work best for you. So, Curtis Alexander, if this was helpful, give me a thumbs up. I'd love to have you subscribe. In the comments, if you have questions, please ask. Other video topics that you want me to cover, let me know. And appreciate you watching. Until the next video. Thanks.